Brace yourself, sports and music fans, because every Wednesday at 5 p.m. Arizona time is GO time. Introducing one of the hottest, most entertaining, and downright addictive podcasts you'll ever need. PD&J was good today. Hosted by none other than J-Dub the King and Pocket. These two dynamic personalities will keep you on the edge of your seat with their unique blend of humor, storytelling, and knowledge of sports and entertainment. And you know what makes it even better? They're live on YouTube and Facebook, so you can join the conversation and be a part of the action. We're always on the lookout for awesome guests to join us on the show. So if you think you've got what it takes to hang out with J-Dub the King and Pocket, then slide into our inbox at J-Dub the King. That's JDUBBTHAKING. And let's make some magic together. So what are you waiting for? You don't want to miss a single episode. See you on Wednesday.
Are you a business owner or someone looking for more ways and avenues to advertise and promote? Look no further. Contact us today for an advertisement. Email PD&J Media Productions LLC at gmail.com for more info. Promotions are everything. What are you waiting for? Hey you. Me? Yes, you. What up? Are you ready to take your brand to the next level? Hell yeah! GLM Designs can help you with just that. Word? From laptop skins? You lying! Promotional flyers. Yo, son! Promo videos. I need that! OBS Twitch overlays and backgrounds. Hey, yo, let me get that! Professional one-sheets and so much more. Oh my god. Please visit our website, I'm on it right now, GottaLoveMeWorld.com today to check out our designs. Got it! Follow us on social media at Gotta Love Me World. Follow it! GLM Designs are here to take care of all your graphic needs.
What's good, folks? What's good? Welcome to a brand new week. So you already know what that means. It's a brand new Wednesday. Another episode of PD&J. What's good today? I'm your host, Jay.
And I'm your host, Pocket. First off, I want to start by saying to all the men out there who won't be alive on Sunday.
Yeah, we won't be. Yeah.
Happy Father's Day. We'll be the first ones to tell you all that. If nobody else tells you, Happy Father's Day anyway. We're going to start off with that. And then I got a question, man. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
You know,
I'm actually excited for this episode. I'm ready to get it in.
Yeah, because, we got a really, really, really special guest today.
And it's about time.
It's about time.
No, we're not doing that. Not doing that. We ain't got time for that today. We got the one behind the scenes of our pre-show mix that we've been doing on and off. But
No, that's not you, man.
Like I said, we got to give it up to the one, the only, DJ CJ Smooth.
Hey, what up with it? What up with it? How y'all doing?
What's happening, man? Like I just said to everybody else, Happy Father's Day to you.
Appreciate that, man. Appreciate the love. Shout out to all of the fathers out there, man, doing the damn thing. It's a daily
for
show.
John Morant's dad and
we're not getting into that this week.
Zion Williams' dad, but everybody else.
We're not getting into that this week. Oh Lord, Pocket, forgive, man. DJ CJ Smooth, forgive this man. But let's just jump right into it, man. You are the one that's behind our pre-show mixes.
Sure.
Not only are you the one behind the pre-show mixes, but you are making your imprint locally here in the city of Phoenix, Arizona. Just so our people can know, tell them a little bit about yourself, where you come from, how you got into this DJ stuff. Like, what's your pedigree? What's your story, man?
No doubt, man. So I am yours truly, DJ CJ Smooth, from ATL originally. I'm out here in Phoenix, man. Actually, Memorial Day was my second anniversary out here in Phoenix.
Okay.
So shout out to the desert, man. I love the desert. Dry heat beats the humidity all day long.
Can you say that for
But
the
yeah,
people in the back? Because people don't believe us when we.
dry heat beats the humidity all day long. Look at me, man. Hey, I'm 5 years in on my lock journey, right? I ain't sweated out not one retwist. You feel me? Like, shout out to the desert. For sure. But yeah, man, like I came out here originally for work. I was originally a supply chain manager, supply chain process improvement manager. I bought me some turntables, man, and started working out the house, out the basement, hustling flow style. Now, you know what I'm saying, I'm around town. Definitely can catch me at Jaguars, Phoenix, Band-Aid Show Lounge, Essex, just to name a few. If you know, you know. I'm gonna leave it at that. And then also I got a show mix now that airs every Wednesday on Icon Radio. Using that platform for the indie artists in the area, for some indie artists that I know, also coast to coast. So we putting on for the Midwest, we putting on for down south, East Coast, and you know, especially all of the talent out here, man. There's a lot of hidden gems in Phoenix in the desert, man, and they doing big things. So all I ever want to do is use my platform, you know, for indie artists. I'm a little guy right now, so I'm definitely using my platform to campaign for the little guys out here that's not getting as much exposure as they deserve. It's not really getting the clout, right? Secondly, you know, we talking about business and branding and things like that. So I'm gaining that knowledge from some very very influential people that's already in the game. You know, 10 years, 20 years plus in the game. I'm taking that knowledge, giving it back to the indie artists. You know, so those that are starting out, just like myself, you know what I'm saying, we know how to go through it the right way the first time. We're not backtracking.
I can dig that. I can dig that. So, what has the journey been like? Like, how long have you been DJing for?
I've been DJing 2 years, man. I've been
Okay.
DJing 2 years, going on 3 years. The journey has definitely been, you know what I'm saying, a learning experience. It's taken a lot of patience, a lot of consistency. You know, there's some opportunities that I feel like, you know what I'm saying, I'm ready for right now. I've been preparing myself. I'm in the studio right now. Shout out to Donkey Bongs TV for having me and hosting the platform for me to do this interview. But I'm also recording out of here. So, you know, it's one of those things where if you not hot in Phoenix, right, like you are not until you are hot. I don't have that kind of mindset, right? I know the type of work that I put into my craft, and the type of professionalism that I bring to any show. I know the energy and the atmosphere that I create, you know, so I'm not really concerned with the naysayers. I'm just staying focused, you know, and staying diligent and working on my craft, and I'm gonna let the rest work itself out. That's how manifestation works.
Okay. Okay. I know Pocket. He had a quick question that he wanted to ask you real quick.
Well, you know, I see all this advertising behind you, right? Why don't you explain? Why don't you tell the people what's going on? 'Cause I almost thought it was, you know, my boy from Baltimore, Javante Tank Davis, in the background sponsorship. I was like, what the hell?
Hey, listen, shout out to Tank Davis, man, the pound for pound king, first and foremost. Secondly, man,
Okay.
Pocket, it's good to see you again, man. Good to tap back in with you. I hadn't seen you since the hip hop fest, man. We had a few drinks, had a
That's
few
right.
laughs
Yeah.
there.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but yeah, no, what you see behind me, is the logo for Donkey Bongs TV. Shout out to my big dog, Tech the Super Latin, for providing this amazing platform that we have here. I got a YouTube stream that'll be going live here, you know, later on this summer. So I come here to record. It's a really, really creative space. City
Now
Buzz
hold on. Time
Studios.
out. Real quick. You said you have a YouTube series you about to launch.
But they
Yes.
just moved that on.
Yeah, I know, right? He
This
just
CJ smoothed it out.
Yeah.
Hey.
Talk about. You got to elaborate on that, man. That's big. That's big salute.
Yeah, man. So it's gonna be called the shoot around. Basically, what it's gonna be is live raw footage of me in the Donkey Bongs TV platform in City Buzz Studios, doing my thing. Right, like it's not scripted. You know what I'm saying, or anything like that. It's just me in my creative element. You know what I'm saying, showing the people what I can do. Just another layer to my branding. Because what I've been accomplishing right now through my mix shows, through coming on the platform with you guys, right, and doing the pre-show mixes, through the Icon Radio show, through the YouTube channel, right, is building a collection right? A collection and a body of work where I can show people, hey, listen, I know you never heard of me, but you need to listen. You know what I'm saying? Because I am a reputable DJ. I am good at what I do. I'm passionate about it, and I'm truly a creator, right? Like a lot of people, you know what I'm saying, can go into a booth with virtual DJ and be a virtual DJ, right? But it takes work, it takes practice, it
To
takes
master your
consistency,
craft.
it takes hours to master your craft. Exactly. So all I do, man, I come in here, I sharpen my iron. It's a really, really creative space, aesthetically, and also, you know what I'm saying, through the vibration and the frequency that's in here, and I love it. So once again, man, shout out to Donkey Bonds TV and Take the Super Latin for having me on this platform to even come in here and do this interview today. Like
You
this
have a
was all
release
this
date?
was all organic.
So what about a release date? You got a release date for that?
I don't, but when I have one, you already know, PD&J definitely have it first.
Absolutely, yeah. We want to know how that goes for you, and we salute you on your journey. Now you mentioned Javante Tank Davis as pound for pound, so we know that you in the sports and everything else like that.
Most
Now,
definitely.
right now it's what, baseball season. How's your Braves doing this year? You from the A, so I'm assuming that you a Braves fan. Well, I'm not assuming. I know that, but for the people that don't know you, you're a Braves
Hey,
fan, right?
yep. I'm gonna run that question back to you, because they just left Chase Field for a short stay. So
Oh
I want you to
man.
tell me how they doing.
Oh man. Oh man. We were at that game together, and
That
here's
was
the
it.
thing. The thing about it, I didn't even know he was at the game until after the fact. But it was
I don't
cool.
think he asked you if he was. I think the question was, how is his team doing?
This seems
That
doing
was the question.
yeah, they did well
But he
that
tried to
series.
go right behind there, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they did well that series. I'll tell you that though. I definitely
Yeah,
say
we first in the NL East right now. First in the NL East, we holding it down. I definitely see some room for improvement, but it's early on in the season. I will say, you know what I'm saying, our hitters are doing really good right now. I felt like in the game that I saw, the pitching staff definitely held it down, you know, from the starters to the relievers and even, you know what I'm saying, bringing in the closer, man. So I like what we got this year. I think we definitely had an opportunity to make a playoff run. But one thing I can say about my team, if I'm being honest, is that somewhere in between, you know, the last 15 games of the season, leading into, you know what I'm saying, playoff play, like they tend to lose their identity and go away from what's been working for them. So I just hope that they stay aggressive at the plate, right? Play good defense, man, and let the bats take care of the rest.
okay. All right, sound like a man who knows what he's talking about.
Well, if you're looking at me, I mean, you know my Orioles are killing it too. Just we got this dumb team called the Rays ahead of us. We can't seem to
Yes.
get rid of them boys. Like,
Yeah, for real. The Rays is doing their thing.
oh man, I like they would started 16-0 and then and turned
Something like
turned
that.
around. But you know what? Staying with sports, you know, I know like how he switched it up talking about the Braves, but I mean, yeah, it's baseball, and I'll give it to him. What do you think about the new rules that they implemented this year? I like it because I'm actually watching more games. But the thing is, the more games I watch, it's because I look at one time, I turn around it's first inning, then I turn around again, it's the ninth inning. I'm like, what the hell happened?
Yeah, you know what? I did notice the pitch clock, and that's something that I was observing when I went to the ballpark. I feel like there's a much better flow to the game, right? And for me being a former basketball official for 10 years, right? Like that was one of the main things that we had to emphasize in our pre games, right? Was making sure the game had a flow, and I think it definitely did because we've all seen games, right? That last, you know what I'm saying, 6 hours, right? It's 9 o'clock on the West Coast. You know what I'm saying? It's 3 o'clock in the morning on the East Coast. Like, and we still trying to get through, you know what I'm saying, to the
Yeah.
to the seventh or the eighth inning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So I definitely think it added, you know what I'm saying, much better flow to the game. The ability to challenge, you know, I think that should be in every professional sport. I think it should have been in every professional sport 10 years ago. Because there are so many games, you know, that we can all think about across all professional sports, you know, that came down to a call or two that definitely changed the course of the game. And I don't think it takes away, you know, from the umpires,
Right.
from the officials' ability to properly officiate the game. I think it puts more accountability on them to make sure that they know the rules, to make sure that they in position, and make sure they locked in during live play, man, and get to play right the first time.
Exactly.
Makes
Exactly.
sense. Makes sense. Now, and as you know, I mean, congratulations. Well, first I'm gonna say congratulations to the Las Vegas Nice.
Yeah.
I mean,
And let's
Yeah.
give it up to the Denver Nuggets.
I'm talking about Las Vegas first. I don't give a
Okay.
damn about Denver right now. Because what
yeah.
I heard, I don't know if you guys heard, they're thinking about doing the parade 7:00 at night this Saturday on the strip. No, on the strip.
Oh, you're talking about the Las Vegas Knights.
I told you I wouldn't talk about the Nuggets.
Okay.
Oh, that's gonna be lit.
Yeah,
on the strip.
Yeah, that'll be lit.
I'm like, I have to try. I mean, it's Father's Day weekend. Maybe I can talk my wife.
I know, right? Real quick, I'll be back. So, speaking of you brought it up Father's Day, just transition real quick. You're a father yourself. Beautiful baby girl that you do have. How is that? Is it a big transition for you in regards to you doing your DJing versus being a father, and how are you balancing that?
Oh man, it is a huge transition. But I tell you what though, one thing that it does do for me, is it keeps me grounded. You know, it keeps me grounded, man. Being honest, right? Like we're gonna talk real in here. You know, if I ain't got nothing to go home for, right? I'm gonna be out in the streets, man. And you know, one thing I can say to my baby girl is that, you know what I'm saying, she keeps me grounded, man. She keeps me on my curfew, right? Like my schedule's tighter because I know that idle time is no longer idle, right? Like that's my time I gotta spend my baby girl, man. But DJing has actually provided me the schedule flexibility that I need to be able to spend that quality time with her as well. And you know, we talking about trips to the park, you know, to the library, check out a new book, or even if it's just, you know what I'm saying, hanging out around the house, man, playing with blocks or, you know, what have you. Um, I am so grateful, you know, for the opportunity to be a father, man. It is an amazing experience. I'm maturing so much more spiritually and mentally. And, you know, a good friend told me, you know, that this would happen. That, you know, that my child was going to bring wealth, but it wasn't necessarily going to be financial wealth, you know, but spiritually, you know, and emotionally. So yeah, man, it's been an amazing thing. I got an amazing
Not only
baby
that,
girl.
but a balance in life. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, man, definitely. Like she provides that balance, right? Even though it's, you know, it's chaotic at times. You know, I gotta get her dressed, get her ready for bed, head out the door. You know, she decides she want to have an accident, so I gotta take her back, get her ready again. You know, those little things, man, that you go through with a 2 year old, or maybe she just not with the shits today, right? So she don't want to cooperate, but you know what I'm saying, man, I wouldn't trade it. I wouldn't trade it for the world at all. You know, it's an amazing experience. I love her. She's a brilliant young lady. You know what I'm saying? She's learning every day. She's locked in. She's tuned in. And you know, I'm looking forward to what she becomes, man. And I know that I play an instrumental part of that. Um, Fathers matter. You know what I'm saying? All fathers matter for real. And when they're there on a day-to-day basis, it definitely shows in a child's life than when they're not.
Say that one more time for the people in the back. They didn't hear you.
Actually, I'm gonna say it like this. Say that for the ones that want to keep the fathers out of the child's mouth, out of the life.
That's who I'm talking to. You know what I'm saying? When a father is in their child's life on a daily basis, it makes a difference, you know, than when they're not. There's a certain like people tend to think that, right, like fathers are the disciplinarians and fathers are, you know what I'm saying, the ones that get a tough love, right? But in particularly with being a girl dad, man, like there's a different type of nurturing, right? Like there is the foundation.
I'm gonna tell you now, you ain't gotta tell me, man. I done had several tea parties, had to dress up and everything, and if I didn't, I got bust out. So
I'm all with it, but I'm all with it though. You know what I'm saying? Like, ain't nobody gonna make me do that but my baby girl.
Exactly.
I know that's right. I know that's right.
You ain't got a girl.
But I can understand him in regards to.
He got 2 boys. He lucked out.
That's right. You know what I'm saying? Probably we represent for the girl dads in here, man. Rest in peace to the Mamba.
Kobe, yeah.
And he had 5 of them.
Whew. I couldn't imagine, bro.
That's why he went bald. I'm telling you.
Couldn't imagine.
I didn't get gray like this overnight. I can tell you that.
Couldn't imagine. 5
you
girls,
know,
bro.
Woo.
5 girls. So, who? Go ahead. I know you had another one.
No, we talk about always the good side of fatherhood and being a parent, right?
Mm-hmm.
But this is where I'm gonna have to tiptoe around in my own house when I come to this one. What do you think of some of the bad with being a parent? I can go first if y'all want.
The downfalls of being a parent?
Yeah.
Of being a good parent or being a parent?
No, being a good
okay,
parent.
Okay, good question.
Good question. Say parent, I can.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to clarify.
Yeah,
Good parent. That's a good question. So, have you yourself, Smooth, experienced any downfalls in being a good parent, being a parent that's in your, like you said, in your daughter's life, day in, day out? Are there any downsides to it?
It can be, right? But it's all about, you know what I'm saying? It's all about how you manage it, right? Like, you know, your children, they can develop a routine very, very quickly, right? And just to give you an example, we talking about potty training, right? My daughter's 2. You know, so for a week, man, I can be at home. That I took a week off about a month ago, and I'm at home every day on the hour, right on the money. We on the potty, you know. And then all of a sudden, I'm back to work. You know, my schedule changed a little bit. Had some additional things that came, but the last minute opportunities I couldn't pass up, what have you. And then immediately, right now, we have to reprogram. You know what I'm saying? Because Pops was just at home for a week. We was big boy kicking it. Now Pops ain't at home no more. Mommy, where's Daddy? You know? That's one thing that I can say right off the top. Secondly,
I will say mothers do get jealous when they ask where Daddy is. So
exactly. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, second to that though, it's the, you know, it's the dependency. You know what I'm saying? Like it can impact the social skills. So there's some tough lessons there that you got to teach, you know, in terms of, you know, being there, being hands on all the time. There's a fine line between being, you know, a dedicated parent and being a helicopter dad or a helicopter mom. Like there's a fine line, and you know, we have to consciously walk that line on a day-to-day basis, you know, and try to figure out where that is. And just me being, you know, a new parent, this is my only child that I have, you know, I have to constantly, you know what I'm saying, be aware of that balance, right? Like, okay, you know, we doing this today, we hanging out today, you know, hugs and kisses is cool, but hey, baby, like, I need you to go, you know, I need you to go out here to the park and go play with these kids. Like, I need you to be a kid for an hour.
Build them
you know what I'm
social
saying?
skills.
Not be up under daddy. I need you to go be a kid for a little bit, you know, and get pushed around. So that way you know how to respond to that when it's time to go to school, you know. Take your bumps and bruises, you know what I'm saying? Get a skint knee or two, you know, where some parents, they can't take that, right? Like they want to save their children from the world, and it's tough to let them experience adversity, and let them experience pain. But if we don't allow them to do that, then they won't experience it, and then they won't know how to handle it when it comes up in their teenage and adult lives. Now we're talking about kids with drug problems and are, you know what I'm saying, suicidal or struggling from anxiety and depression at an age when they should just be being a kid, you know. So those are lessons that start, you know what I'm saying, man, really, really young. And you can't love that out of your child's life experience, because at the end of the day, they're humans. They're just yours for a time being.
That's deep. That's deep.
You dropping some bombs there, man.
I don't want to get
I ain't
too
mean
deep.
To get philosophical on y'all, man. My bad.
I don't want to get
bad.
too deep. Let's get back into the DJ. Nerd ENT. What is that for the people that don't know?
NERD is an acronym for No Excuses, Realize Dreams.
Okay.
That's what nerd stands for. Anything that you want to do, you have the potential to do it from the moment that you receive the thought in your mind. Right? When you receive the thought in your mind, it becomes a vision. And that vision is up to you to manifest. But it only happens by the work that you put behind it. Right? Like this platform that I'm on today, is an amazing platform, right? That came out of nowhere. All I was doing was just staying focused on my craft, you know, and it came to me. But I'm not a sit on the couch and think about something, right? Like if it comes to me and I have the time to do it, it's not gonna take anything out of what else I have to go, you know what I'm saying, to do on a daily basis as an adult, as a father. Then man, I'm all for it. You know, so I got some big things coming up, man, and you know what I'm saying, I keep that approach to everything. No excuses, just realize your dreams. It doesn't matter what you do. It's music for me, but find what you love, find what you're passionate about, and make that lucrative for you because you can work tirelessly day in and day out and it will never feel like work.
Facts. Now let me ask you this question real quick. Outside of DJing and being a father, what is it that CJ Smooth does?
Oh man, I'm at the gym. I love to hoop. You know what I'm saying? Weather's nice out right now, so you definitely can catch me at the park. I've actually been getting into going to sporting events, man. I just seen the Braves like we just talked about earlier. I'm gonna catch my girl Candace Parker and the Las Vegas Aces when they come to town with the Phoenix Mercury. That's gonna be coming up here next week, I believe. So I'll be taking my baby girl to that. Other than that, man, I'm going out listening to music. You know, I'm going out listening to music, listening to other DJs. Definitely.
You gotta give a moment of silence for the Mercury real quick.
Yes.
Yeah,
Man,
right
you
now.
know, I mean, like, sheesh. You know,
Yeah,
I don't know what's going
I don't
on.
even know what the right. Like, I'm speechless. I don't even know. You know,
Like,
where
I
to
don't
begin.
have an answer.
But
Right,
the other night,
right. I'm sure we got a varsity girls team in Phoenix somewhere that we can put on the floor for a few games and see what happens.
because
Maybe I
Tarazi
need some
had
rest.
0
I don't
points
know.
for the first time ever. She
Yeah,
didn't
that
score
was
the other
last
night.
Yeah,
Like, she didn't score.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
Right.
supposed to be the greatest WNBA player.
one of the greatest. I wouldn't call her the greatest.
She's got the scoring, all-time scoring. So, I mean, I'll say this. They call
They still
LeBron the
need
best
debate.
because he's got the scoring title, so they might as well just say she's the best of women, right?
Oh wow. Okay.
And we know how we feel about that.
We went there.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. You know what I'm saying?
Thank
Like,
you. Thank you.
yeah, that you know the scoring title. You know, if you
It's a
you give
longevity
me,
thing.
like,
It's a longevity, yeah.
exactly. You know what I'm saying? It definitely is a longevity thing. The only person, you know, that I give that credit to as being, you know what I'm saying, one of the best is most the person who set the record, right? Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, you know, cuz he had his skill set changed the game, right? He was a phenom in his era in terms of his size and stature and what he was able to do with that, you know. He was the best at what he did, right? Like,
And not only
nobody
that,
was
he had
ever
a
able to
shot that
defend
to
the
this
sky
day
hook.
you can't
You
do
know?
anything with it.
Yeah.
You can't do anything with that sky hook. Like, it's
Right. So I
like,
mean,
what can you do?
let's fast forward. You know, let's fast forward to now, where you have, you know, LeBron playing the position that he does. You know, at the forward position, being able to, you know, transition between 3 through 5, being the only player, you know, that was worth anything on a lot of his teams for a long time, carrying these teams through the playoffs time after time, and then also, you know, the fact that he can get to the basket at will, elevate. You know, I mean, let's look at his percentage from outside the paint. Look at his percentage inside the paint. You know, like, and then the fact that he's been playing since he was 18, in the league, 19 years old, playing in the league. Like, it's not hard. Like, he should do that based on him being a professional, him being a basketball player, and making a commitment to what, you know, to what he signed up for. Not taking any credit from him, but I've definitely seen better players in terms of skill set, right, that are able to do comparable to what he does without the God given gifts that he has. One being Kobe
I
being
live by
Bryant.
I live by one saying with LeBron. I say that if he would have had Jordan's instinct, then we'd have a different conversation. If he
Oh,
would have
man.
had Jordan's killer instinct, we would have
He
a
would have
different
won every
conversation.
he would have won
Exactly.
every championship.
He'd been
Every
what,
single one.
He was 4-6. He would have 10-0. He would have
Yes.
10-0. No
10
doubt.
and 0.
No doubt. But I'm glad. It's funny because we talk about that all the time, but we're always on the same scope. But I always tell people, I was like, you know, Jordan is always going to be a step above everybody because his competitive nature. Wow.
Killer threat instantly.
Now, the only other person, because my and then you mentioned Mamba earlier, the Black Mamba, who's my favorite player of all time. And I say this all the time. I was like, people always want to skip over him and definitely compare LeBron with Jordan. I was like, you can't do that.
You can't do that.
I was like, one, if they would have met in the finals, I have no doubt in my mind Kobe would have ate him alive. He ate him alive during the regular season. He ate him alive during the play, then the All-Star game, and the 2006 Olympic team. It wasn't because of LeBron. They always say LeBron and Kobe. It wasn't LeBron that did it. Kobe did it.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Facts. You know what I'm saying? Brought back the redeem teams what it was called,
Yep.
right?
Yeah.
Because they were going to lose
Exactly.
they were going to lose against Spain, but
Yeah.
Kobe came out and said nope.
That's the
Not
game
today.
where he set that screen and he ran
Yeah.
right through Pau
Ran right through
Gasol.
his own team.
Yeah, he said,
And they were like, "Oh, okay."
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Exactly.
I remember
It's
that.
not a game, right? Like it's not a game. And then I give Kobe this credit too, man. Kobe is the best ever one-on-one player. Best ever. Like you give Kobe the ball in an ISO situation, I'm
It's
taking him
over.
8 out of 10 times.
It's
You
over.
know, and the only reason I'm not giving him 10 out of 10 is just because of the human element of the game, right? Some just gonna rim out. But yeah, like I've seen Kobe speaking about LeBron, Kobe going head to head. Like I've seen him post LeBron,
Yep.
fade away,
Yep.
on LeBron. You
Even in
know,
his
like
even in his when he was about to get, I think it was his 20th year, like his last year, and he was posting LeBron. I'm like, what the heck is he doing? And he's still taking him to school. I'm like,
right.
dude, really?
Not to
Like,
mention he scored 80 in 3 quarters.
yes, yes. That what's funny is I remember watching that game myself, and I'm like, is this really Is this true? And Jalen Rose always, doesn't want to talk about it. I was like, I don't give him not want to talk about it because he got, I think 30 of them were scored on him.
Yeah, exactly. Of course he doesn't want to talk about
I was like, that's just
it.
ridiculous to look at it. Like, if my whole thing is, if I was Phil Jackson, I would have let him go. He would have got 100 easily. I would have let him do it.
Yeah,
If that
I
was
would
just
let him
me,
play
I
the
was
whole
like,
game.
I would have asked him, do you want to do it? You want to do it? I can't stop you. Go ahead. Just dang it. Because it's
Yeah.
not going to hurt him.
Nope, not
So-
at all.
We do got a question that I want to ask. You said that going back, you did say that you were DJing. You've been DJing for about going on 2 years, correct?
It's been 2 years. I'm going on 3. So it's
Going on
start my
3.
Third. Yes, going on my third
Okay.
year.
Wait a minute. Did you have any kind of celebration?
No, I didn't.
Come on, man. You got to do
No,
better.
I
Come
didn't.
on. You
Hey,
got to.
I told y'all, man. I'm in the lab right now. You know what I'm
Seriously,
saying?
you know what?
Like, yeah, I'm
What
in the
made
lab right
you-
now because trust me, when I have a celebration, okay, let's put this on the record. When I have a celebration, it's going to be of epic proportions, right?
Okay.
And
I'm about to say,
if you talk
it's
to some, if
Memorial
you talk to
Day,
some of my
schools are
homies
opening.
from back home, you know what I'm saying? Where when I used to throw parties back in the day or whatever, like I'm telling you, like it's gonna go all the way up. Like city gonna be on smash type shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I'm just waiting, man. I'm just waiting.
So what made you pick up the turntables in the first place? And
Man, so-
how did you get so advanced so fast?
DJing is something that I always wanted to do. I've had a natural, you know what I'm saying, knack for music. But we could listen to a song right now that's been remixed, and if we listen to 10 songs that have been remixed, I'd probably be able to name seven out of the 10 songs that it was remixed from, just from the sample. You know what I'm saying? Like I've always been a lover of music. You know, I grew up in a house where, you know what I'm saying, Saturday nights it was old school. You know what I'm saying? It was old school funk. You know, it was Motown. You know what I'm saying? It was all the classics, right? Sundays, you know what I'm saying? We playing all the soul music from the 80s and the 90s. You know, my dad never let me listen to hip hop. Like never ever. It was always classics. You know, and so I grew up with that love, man, you know what I'm saying, for music. I went in talent shows, you know, as a 10 and 11-year-old. Things like that, man. Karaoke contests, you know, like I have been in, you know, musically inclined and musically influenced my whole life. It's just that, you know, my parents didn't have the capacity, right, to invest in music for me and also invest in sports. And so I chose sports. Boxing was my first love. Basketball was second. You know, football was something that I did with the homies, but I was always playing a sport. So it was like, hey, bro, we either gonna pay these dues or we can get you some equipment. You know, which one you want to do? And I'm like, well, you know, I like playing, so I'm gonna play. Fast forward to now, man. Like I said, I'm in a space right now where I want to contribute my energy, my time, my efforts, you know, to humanity through things that I'm passionate about, and music is definitely one of those. So you know, I picked up some turntables, and I was like, man, I can do this, right? Like I'm going out, you know, no knock to any DJ out there, no knock to any DJ, but I'm going around town, and I'm like, man, that thought, right? That thought that I'm talking about in my acronym. Man, I'm looking at these DJs around town, bro. Like if they can do it, I can do it. You
But
know,
not only that, you got to think a lot of these DJs aren't DJs; they're just playing songs. I mean, be
exactly,
honest
right?
with
And
you.
that's what I realized when I got into it is that hey, these guys can't really mix. They can't blend. They
There
can't
you go.
scratch. They
Yep.
can't beat juggle. They can't wordplay. Like these guys are on virtual DJ. Like they're on the house computer, clicking a mouse. You know what I'm saying? A caveman can do that. But that's not who I'm gonna be, right? Like I'm gonna be, you know what I'm saying, the smooth operator. You know, I'm Quincy from Juice, you know what I'm saying? Like that's my idea of, you know what I'm saying, a DJ, the Grandmaster Flashes, the Jazzy Jeffs, you know what I'm saying, DJ man, what's my guy name? DJ Drama, you know what I'm saying, DJ Cannon, you know, Swamp Izzo, a couple of the, you know what I'm saying, big guys from Atlanta, man, that I grew up, you know what I'm saying, listening to in the mixtape era, right? Like DJs that really not only broke records, you know, and created a new sound and ushered in a new era, you know what I'm saying, for hip hop, you know, for the culture, but who also gave artists a platform like Soldier Boy, like Gucci, you know what I'm saying, like Pastor Troy, like Jeezy, like T.I., you know, like Lil Wayne, right? Like Manny Fresh, you know, definitely was a instrumental part, you know what I'm saying, in Wayne becoming what he was because Wayne was a great rapper, but if he was rapping on whack ass beats, you know what I'm saying, he easily could have fell through the cracks, you know. He came out with fire lyrics, he came out, you know what I'm saying, with banging beats, like, and he was able to just, you know what I'm saying, go viral, you know what I'm saying, and go coastal with it, like, and so that's the type of DJ that I want to be, which is why, you know, I put so much time and effort into indie artists, you know, because there's a lot of artists out here that don't know the business of the game. There's a lot of artists out here that don't know what they don't know in terms of music production, right? And so I'm putting my time to learn as much as I can so that I can share that knowledge with them, you know, and
So
we can
if
grow
I'm
together.
understanding you correctly, you're gonna end up producing beats at one point in time.
Absolutely, it's not a matter of if, it's only a matter of when.
My man, I
Now,
like that.
you know, it's funny
Yeah,
because being so new to the DJ game, 2 years, but knowing that you have an astute ear for music, that takes it a little bit further. So I can definitely say this, coming from a family, like if you didn't know, my mother was one of the premier gospel DJs for a long time. Matter of fact, a lot of the formats you see with morning shows,
yeah,
look up Pastor Naomi Durant from the DMV, and you'll see that she was the one that actually started that format. And now it's work.
I've heard that name.
Yeah, that's my mother. That is my
That's
mother.
Mom Dukes. Oh
Yes,
man,
that's
shout out to
mom. She
Mom
passed. Well,
Dukes.
you know, she passed away 3 years ago. Last week.
Yeah.
Yeah, 3 weeks last week. But yeah, she was one of the preeminent that started that morning show that you see everywhere. And because of her, again, astute ear of music. So you can't say that you've been DJing for 2 years. I hate to tell you that.
Okay.
You have to say because your father groomed you. So you got to say I've been. Oh, you can actually, you know what?
You've been a
You can
student
say
of music all your life.
right, but you can
I
say I've
absolutely
been a
have.
DJ for 2 years, but I've been a student of music since however old you are.
Forever.
Exactly. That's what you
Yes.
have to go by because,
I
like
stand
I told you
corrected. That's
before with your
facts.
mixes, right? Remember, because I told you before with your mixes, and we, you know, when we chopped it up, I told you like, man, you got some badass mixes.
Yeah.
You know, you only been doing
Thank
it
you.
for 2 years. That means you've had a gift that you just started cultivating.
Exactly. Yep. You are. That's 100% correct, man. I can't even like to add anything would be taken away.
Yeah.
So yeah, like I want to use that gift to reach as many people as I can. You know, like I received a thought about 3 years ago, and it was like, man, Chris, like you have the potential to reach millions of people. And I asked myself how I was gonna do that. And then fast forward, you know what I'm saying, till now I'm doing it through the music, right? But it's just the music right now, but it's gonna turn into so many other things, you know. And so I'm really just enjoying the journey, man. Like I don't have nowhere to be no time soon, right? I'm just grateful for the journey, and I'm taking it one step at a time. And you know, trying to do as much good as I can and bring as much positive energy as I can into any room that I enter. And that in itself is what's going to separate me, you know, from a lot of other DJs, you know what I'm saying, in Phoenix, a lot of other DJs, you know what I'm saying, across the country. Like I'm, you know, as I grow, you know what I'm saying, I definitely know that I belong in the booth with anybody, you know. So for all you DJs out there that ends up seeing this show, man, listen, if you want a fire opening DJ that's going to set you up for an easy lay, for an easy lob to the rest of your night, holla at your boy, man, DJ CJ Smooth.
Only temporarily, because he's going to be a feature himself. So I'm going to just put it out there.
So let me
Put
ask
out the world
Catch
what
me
you
while
want.
you can. Catch me while you can.
Now, what? Speaking of catch you while you can, where can they catch you at?
You can catch me on Instagram at DJ CJ Smooth _ATL. You can catch me on TikTok at DJ CJ Smooth. DJ CJ Smooth is also on SoundCloud and Mixcloud. And then you can catch me, daytime at Jaguars Club. You can catch me on the weekends at Band-Aid Show Lounge. Got a showcase that's coming up that'll be starting up at Candy's Cabaret each and every Wednesday, following the Icon Radio Mix midweek mix, starring yours truly, DJ CJ Smooth.
Speaking of Icon, that's a very big platform to be on, especially out here in Arizona. How did you get that?
So I'm a member of Southwest Alliance Music. Southwest Alliance Music is a coalition of DJs and other music influencers where we come together and we have created a platform for independent artists to come present their music, to anywhere from 20 to 50 DJs weekly. Every Tuesday we have a conference call and we bring in music from all over the place. However, it is catered to the Southwest region because that's where we at. And the hip hop culture here is it's really in an infancy phase, but there are a lot of tenured, right, and experienced, musical influencers, people that have been in the industry for, for a long time. And so we've all come together, man. We listen to music, we give the thumbs up or thumbs down. It goes out, into a master catalog that any DJ who's a part of the coalition has access to. So I joined that about 6 months ago. And there were some changes, that were being made in terms of leadership. And the opportunity just presented itself for me to do a mix show. One of my big mentors, DJ Benz, shout out to the one DJ Benz. He told me straight up, he said, "Hey bro, you dope. Like, you need a mix show on Icon." You know what I'm saying? Tap in with the man John Blaze. Shout out to my man John Blaze for providing a platform that is Icon Radio. And it just grew from there. So this week just showcased my fifth mix of the series that I did this week. We had Lil Bufu out of Atlanta, which he's been on a couple of you guys pre-show mixes. We had Project Nay, who's out of Denver. Young Buki, who's a Phoenix artist. Who else, man? Added up Kevo out of Tucson. He's another dope artist that that came from here. J Rob the Chief, right? Another local cat. Richie Evans. These are all local talents out here, man. That's about to blow up and really change the game in terms of the West Coast culture, because these guys aren't just tied to the West Coast sound. Like, these guys had opportunity to mix in Jersey Club, to mix in drill, right? To mix in, trap and B. Like, they're so multifaceted and talented. And that's how the opportunity came about. But again, it all started with the vision, of me just wanting to put on for the independent artists, that I connect with, that I feel like deserves a shot, and using my platform, man, for them. Like, I appreciate when people listen to my mixes, because it's not really for my validation. It's more so that people can hear these artists out here, that deserve to be on these big stages and that deserve to open up, for the A-list artists out here. Like, these guys definitely deserve a shot.
So I got a question for you. This has been brewing for a minute. Who are your top 5 influencers as far as when it comes to music? Like, top 5 you would like to work with as far as influencers?
Okay, we talking all time. We talking about in the new era.
Actually, let's give me 3 all time and 2 in the era.
Okay. 3 all time. Michael Jackson, Prince, Lauryn Hill.
Ooh.
Top 3 all time, right? Honorable mention goes to Whitney Houston, but I had to save that slot because we doing 2 in the new school. All right.
Okay.
Two in the new school for sure. DJ Khaled, and Lil Baby.
Okay. I like those 2.
Yeah. Definitely. Man, I can't.
So who's your favorite artist right now?
Who's my favorite artist right now? Man, that's a tough one. Like I've been listening to I've listened to so much music, man. Gosh,
I'm gonna be honest.
I'm a
Since it's Father's Day weekend, my daughter's birthday's on Monday. Shout out to my baby girl. Happy birthday coming Monday. She turned into big 1-4.
happy birthday.
Yeah, she's got me on the Ice Spice. I had to sit there and listen to her music,
Okay.
and I actually prefer her over Cardi B because Cardi B sounds like she needs to be on a small bus. Like
Ooh.
I can't.
Shots fired, man. You know
I
what?
can't with her. But Ice Spice, it's like she's got a certain flow and it goes
She
no matter
does.
what beat she on.
Yeah,
It's
she
just
definitely
catchy.
does.
Yeah.
I give you that one. Man, you know what? I gotta take it to Memphis, man. Finesse 2 times. Finesse 2 times.
Okay.
Woo!
But that's 2 times.
Man.
Yeah.
Okay. That's your favorite
Yeah.
rapper right now.
Yeah, man. I really rock with Finesse 2 times.
Okay.
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
I do. And like I said, I had to pick one. You know what I'm saying? So, I got introduced to Finesse 2 times about a year ago. I was in the club, heard a banger. I'm like, bro, who the fuck is that? Like, and like it was one of them things where I had to go back and listen to the track. And then when I listened to the track, I was like, man, let me go, let me dig into his catalog, right? Like, man, but honorable mention, you know what I'm saying? Like my man's young Dolph, right? Like
Okay.
Young Dolph, but like prior to Finesse, you know what I'm saying? Young Dolph was definitely a major influencer, you know what I'm saying, in hip hop. Like he's global. He's definitely coast to coast. Like he goes in any club, you know what I'm saying? He goes in anywhere, in hip hop culture. And not only that, man, but you know what I'm saying, listen to his interviews, right? And the message that, you know what I'm saying, that he carried.
Very intelligent.
Like he was flashy, right? But that's just a part of the hip hop culture. That's just the flex, but that wasn't all that he was. You know what I'm saying? He was so much more than that, man. And you can actually hear it, in his music too. He talking about, you know what I'm saying, setting up his next generation and that generation being able to set up the next generation. Similar to Nipsey Hussle. You know what I'm saying? Nipsey was going too early. Because he was definitely about to usher in that movement as well, man, and just wake up the culture. I'm not opposed to a gold grill. You know what I'm saying? I'm not opposed to the chains and the rings and all that stuff neither. However, that's not wealth. That's fashion. And there's a difference between the two, and I think that those guys did the best job of, you know what I'm saying, bringing that message forward. And Finesse is right along those lines, man, with those cats. So shout out to all of them, man. Shout out to the culture, man. It's a major movement going on in the culture right now, and I love it, man. And being a girl dad, we talking about Father's Day and stuff like that, man. Shout out to all of the ladies, you know what I'm saying, that's on a strong campaign right now. It's amazing to see so many women, you know what I'm saying, coming up through hip hop. I don't particularly care for, you know what I'm saying, them lyrically sometimes, but I respect the movement. I respect the entrepreneurship. I respect
that's why I
the
went
hustle.
back to that's why I mentioned Ice Spice. Like her stuff isn't as degrading as most other women. Like I'm like, oh, come on, it's not. You know what I'm saying? It's more uplifting. Yeah. I mean, it's got some of the tunes or some of the tracks are just they're questionable. But anytime I can sit there, like my mother always said, 10 seconds. 10 seconds. If you can stand 10 seconds and keep listening, it's a hit.
Yeah.
If you can't, get rid of it.
Straight up. And you know what? Like Gangsta Boo, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Munch, like, man, it's so hilarious when I go in the club and, you know what I'm saying, like the hardest looking cats, like they in there vibing to it. They're rocking to it. They gotta catch themselves. Like, hold up, man, ain't no cameras out, right? Like,
exactly. Oh, ain't nobody.
I ain't trying to go viral for that. You know what I'm saying? Like, for real. But yeah, nah, man, it's a lot of good things going on with the women of the culture, man. I love it. I love it. Love it.
What's been the biggest uphill battle that you've been? What's the biggest obstacle that you've been having to see and deal with yourself that you've been getting over?
We talking about in terms of DJing or just personal?
Both.
Well, getting into the nightclubs, you know what I'm saying, is definitely been an uphill battle. I don't really have anybody with a reputable name that's vouching for me to say, hey, man, this guy deserves a look out here right now. I don't need it either, right? But that's just, you know what I'm saying, that's making the journey all the more worthwhile. Definitely been getting looked over in the nightclubs, you know what I'm saying, in the West Gates, in the downtown, in the Scottsdale Arena. I haven't got my fair shake, man, but it's coming. It's not a matter of if, it's only a matter of when. You dig?
Yeah, for
But I'm
sure.
taking that in, yeah, I'm taking that in stride, man. Like it got to me early because I knew, I could see myself where I was going, and I'm still getting there. But one thing I do know is that when the yes comes, it's gonna be right on time. So that's
But I'll tell
so
you
that's
what,
what I'm
when
working
that
on.
yes comes, your asking price or the asking price is going up. So
Oh yeah,
whatever it is
yesterday's price
now,
is
you're gonna say,
always yesterday's price, right? Like
yep,
my price going
yep.
up after the end of this interview. You dig what I'm saying? Like straight up, like my price is like the stock market. You feel me? Like catch the deals while you can, because it's going up tomorrow. But in my personal life, man, I'm going through, what I'm saying, a season of sobriety. You know,
Okay.
I'm not outside unless I got a reason to be outside conducting business. You know what I'm saying? I'm focusing more, on prayer and meditation, and making that a part of my daily walk. And setting my intention and being diligent with setting my intention for the day. And that has had, a huge benefit. It's played a major part, in my mental health. It's played a part in my spiritual growth. And also, since we on the topic, like it's made me a better father. It's made me more aware. It's made me more nurturing and more loving, and more intimate with my daughter. Because we are, girl dad specifically, we are the foundation of intimacy in our in our daughters' lives. So that's what I've been on in this season, man. Like, which is another reason why, I ain't really been no, so no parties, no celebrations and things like that, man. Because that's gonna come in its own time. But right now, I need to spend time inside of myself, right? So that way, when I step back out onto the scene, I'm a better version of myself, and I won't have to explain to you what I am. Like, you're gonna see it, and if you know what it is, then you're gonna respect it. If you don't know what it is, you're gonna fear it. But it's gonna be your choice either way, because I'm gonna be me.
And that is a thing to hear on this great weekend to celebrate dads. And I'm glad, it just worked out that you ended up coming on this week for the celebration of fathers. Because, I mean, to be honest with you, being a girl dad myself, I understand, man. Because you got to think, not only are we the foundation um, for the beginning for our daughters, but a lot of times out of 10, the boy, unfortunately, that they're going to bring in is going to be someone that closely reminds them of their father. Not exactly like their father, but someone that, I think my dad would like you.
Have the same
Yes,
morals.
Yeah. Yeah. Because,
absolutely.
and in saying that, I mean, she's only 2, so you got ways to go. Mine was
Oh yeah.
13, and she had her first one and skated around telling me she had her first one for a while. Her mother hid it from me for a while. Not
Oh
not
yeah.
thinking
They
that I
always
didn't.
they always in cahoots together, man.
Yeah, yeah. It's like they got a band against me, but then don't realize that I might already know. I might have already observed some stuff.
I absolutely right. I absolutely already know. I was 13 once too. Like, what do you mean? Absolutely, man. That's beautiful. You know what
So
though? On the hindsight though, that is also a sign of respect to you as well, Pocket. You know what I'm saying? Like, we not bringing no bullshit to dad. Like, this gotta be what it. This gotta be what it's. What it need to be. You know what I'm saying? And also, your wife taking that time, to guide her, woman to woman.
right,
That's something, that I'm learning. Like, my best friend told me, he said, bro, whenever your daughter is engaged in any way with another woman, even if it's uncomfortable for you, like, let
let
it
it
happen.
cultivate, let it happen.
Like,
Yep.
that's, what I'm saying, that's womanhood, and you can't teach that, and so you shouldn't intervene. And because he's a girl dad as well. and his daughter's my goddaughter. So that was a valuable lesson, man. And so a lot of times, that's also at play too. But I'm with you though, bro. If he looking too long, I need to know about
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, it's
Straight
funny.
up.
It's funny when you say that. But another thing I like to say too, and out of the respect factor, like they know what to bring and what not to bring, right? They know what to bring and what not to bring. They know, because I told my daughter, and I say this wholeheartedly. Don't tell me anything. I only want if he's hurting you, you better tell me. If anything goes wrong, you better tell me. That's when Dad steps up. Everything else, give it to Mom. I don't want to hear about it. The mushy, give it to Mom. And I'm gonna go after him.
Exactly.
So
Straight
I don't
up.
need to hear
You
that.
know
But
what
if
I'm
there's
saying?
anything where I need to know, one of y'all better tell me. If neither one of you
Right.
tell me and I find out, it ain't gonna be pretty.
Right.
So
Cause I'm gonna get my daughter the game.
Yeah.
let me ask you this, Smooth. You got any big events that you hosting, DJing? Like, what besides, you got your mixes that you got coming out. You said every Wednesday on Icon, right? What time can they catch that?
You can catch me 4 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, 4 p.m. Pacific Time, 6 p.m. Central, 7 o'clock Eastern Time. So we running so the show run it's an hour show, but it does run back to back. So if you miss any part of the first show, you can catch it in the second hour. So it's gonna be going from 4 to 6 Mountain Time, Pacific Time, and 7 to 9 Eastern. That's each and every Wednesday, and again, it's gonna be featuring some really really dope indie artists. You'll hear a couple of bangers in there that I just like, that I've heard recently just from the latest drops from this year and stuff like that. But 90%, man, it's gonna be indie artists that have either come through the Southwest Alliance or indie artists that I've made connections with that I feel like that I can play their music anywhere. At the end of the month on the 30th, we doing the ATL in Phoenix. So it's gonna be Trap versus Crunk. Doing that with my man DJ Heat 'em Up. Me and him collaborating on that. So
Where's that gonna be at?
The location is to be determined right now, but I'll have that information by the end of this week though, for sure.
Okay.
So when I have that, I'll definitely shoot it to you guys. Let you know. But the ATL in Phoenix is gonna be a big event. Like, I haven't been able to really get into my ATL bag in a long time, right? Like, so I'm really like chomping at the bit, for this one, because I'm taking it back to, Cascade. Like, you seen ATL, like, I
Oh, you
Cascade, like I'm
going
taking
back
it
to the
back to,
Cascade area? You talking about
yeah.
ATL and all that, doing?
Oh yeah, man. We bringing out Lil Jon, we bringing out Pastor Troy, we bringing out Kilo Ali. You know what I'm saying? We bringing out Jermaine Dupri, Soldier Boy, Franchise Boys, Shop Boys, all the boys. You know what I'm saying? from back in the dance, back in the dance era, right? Like, then we're gonna bring it forward, man. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna bring it in with Jeezy, with Gucci, with Gunna, with Lil Baby, 21 Savage, 2 Chainz, Young Thug, like, the list goes on, man. Like, ATL, like, we still got our space in the game, we still got our lane, man, and it ain't stopping no time soon.
All right, I got. You know what? We're gonna stay with entertainment. I'm gonna tell you right there. But
Okay.
my question is, because I've been looking for this for we talked about this months, and it's finally happening July 29th. You know where I'm going with that? Spence versus Crawford.
Oh man, I already knew.
Who is your pick? And I'm
taking
asking
Errol
why.
Spence. I'm taking Errol Spence.
You
Yeah.
taking Spence over Crawford?
I'm taking Errol Spence over Crawford.
Oh,
Errol Spence is the only, is the only boxer with the skill set to beat Bud Crawford. He's the only one. He's the only one. He can match him in speed.
You still
He
going
can match him
Crawford?
in power. He can match him, he's crafty. He knows how to fight outside, but he's also physical enough to fight inside. So if it's a phone booth boxing match, right, I think he beats Crawford to the punch. If it's outside, I think he has better defense. He has better footwork than Crawford. The only thing, that would change this fight is if he gets too comfortable too soon. Because I've seen him do that in fights where Errol Spence knows that he's ahead in the scorecard, say at the
And
fifth
then
round,
take off
right?
some rounds.
And then you know what I'm saying, 6, 7 rounds, like, you know, he's kind of in cruise control, right? Saving it, you know what I'm saying, for the ninth through the 12th. That he cannot do against Crawford. He's got to fight 36 minutes, you know what I'm saying, 12 rounds, and he has to stick to the game plan. I
You
think if
think
he
it's going
does
all
that,
12 rounds?
absolutely,
You
absolutely.
think
You
it's
know what I'm saying?
going
We talking
okay?
about yeah, we talking
So
about two of the best. We talking about two of the best fighters in the game. If it doesn't, it's gonna be, you know, off a fluke. You know what I'm saying, one good shot. But I don't think anybody has the edge in this fight. If I'm being honest, I don't think anybody has the edge in this fight. But I do think that Errol Spence will be victorious at the end. I mean, listen, man, I've seen Errol Spence take 3 belts in the welterweight division effortlessly, and I don't think that Bud Crawford has had the as many credible fights under his belt as Errol Spence has. I don't, and I'm not taking away from his fight game because I'm a connoisseur of boxing. Bud Crawford
I like to say
is
that
the
he
best.
did get, what was it, the junior welterweight, undisputed, and then he moved up, and then he beat Jeff Horn, who we knew he was should
Yeah,
never.
we knew that. Yeah.
We knew he
Yeah,
should never had that title. Like
never.
that should
It
have
was a
Pacquiao.
vacant. It was a
Yeah,
vacant title.
yep. Yeah, we beat Pacquiao, and he didn't beat Pacquiao. If you ever watch, I never forget watching that fight. I'm like, how did they give him the fight and he lost? But
He did not beat Pacquiao in any way, shape, or form.
no, there was no way in hell. And if you looked at after the match, look at Pacquiao's face, look at his face.
Exactly. If you just go by the eye test, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? If you didn't even see the fight and you just go by the eye test, he clearly lost that fight, you know. But
Now I'm looking like dude on Friday. Damn!
But you know what?
nah, facts,
Now,
man.
my reasoning behind Spence winning is because he's a very high pressure, very consistent fighter. If you look, his
Right.
punch output is something that Crawford has never seen, and he doesn't stop coming.
Nope.
And he's very defensively responsible. Like you said, he's very defensively responsible. The only reason why Ugas caught him because his mouthpiece came out and he thought the ref said stop. Then another fight, and he's so focused now. It's like watching the Terminator. He's gonna keep coming. You got to stop him.
Exactly.
I just know it's going to be a good fight. I can't. It's been a long time coming for this fight.
It's gonna be a great fight.
It should be a great on paper. It definitely should be a great fight. I don't want to see this fight end in an early stoppage. That's just
The only thing I think is going to be a stoppage is because Spence broke down Crawford. I really do. Because I looked at the press conference. I didn't know Spence was that much bigger than him. I knew he was bigger than him, but if you go back and look at the press conferences, he's a lot bigger than Crawford.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I was
But
like,
now-
oh man, I don't know. Like I
But here's
said,
the
I don't
thing,
know.
though.
Like,
Here's the thing, right? Like, and I can and this is why I respect Crawford so much, right? Like, I haven't seen a fighter that can fight from southpaw and orthodox
Yeah.
like Bud Crawford since Marvin Hagler. I feel like
Yeah.
he's the best
Yeah.
at it since Marvin Hagler,
And the
and
only one coming
that
up,
is something that you can't train for,
Mhm.
you can't prepare for. You have to you have to see it in the ring, right? Like, and so, you know, that is going to give him a leg up. You know what I'm saying? He's been undersized in every fight that he's ever fought, but I've seen, you know what I'm saying, Bud Crawford dismantle some people, you know what I'm saying, really, really easily, man, because of that style, right? Like, his punches come from everywhere. And so it's going to be more important, you know what I'm saying, for Errol Spence to be on his game, on his defense. You know, he definitely got to be there because them punches is not going to come straight ahead like the average, you know, Latino fighters that he comes up against. He's definitely not going to be, you know, front to back, left to right, like a lot of the European fighters that we see. You know what I'm saying? But Crawford's going to be moving everywhere. You know, it's going to come down to Spence being able to establish the jab early and establish the jab often earlier in the rounds and then open up, you know what I'm saying, his combinations once he found a home for it. You got to go to the body. You know, like, that's the only way he's going to be able to beat Crawford. Other than that, if the fight is even going into the championship rounds, I will have to give the edge to Bud Crawford, just because, like, I've seen him flip a switch late in fights, you know, in fights that he was behind on the scorecards and in fights, you know what I'm saying, that it was kind of on the fence. And I've seen him be able to turn that switch on in championship rounds and edge some guys out. So that's definitely not
You know what?
a
I hear
situation
what
that
you're
Spence want to
saying.
be in.
I do hear what you're saying with that, but my thing is he hasn't fought anybody on the caliber of Spence.
That's fair.
Because he turns it up, but Spence has another level too. Because you
Yeah.
got to remember, he outboxed Mikey Garcia, right?
Yes,
And
he
then
did.
with Sean Porter, and people forget about this. He said, "I'm going to be Sean in his own game." He got in a dogfight with Sean Porter. Yeah, he
Yes,
barely
in
won
the
the
phone
fight, but
book
he
with
said
Sean.
exactly. He
Yeah.
said, "I'm going to fight him in his own game." Danny Garcia, he picked apart. Ugas, that was just terrible to see that fight. Like
Yeah,
I mean,
well, I
he
felt bad for
literally broke him
Ugas.
down. Like
I
he
felt bad
broke.
for Ugas.
Yeah,
Like,
I wanted his corner to throw in the towel, but he kept saying no. Like you can't even see, man.
yeah, nah, bro. Like, I just won the title, right?
Yeah,
And it's my first title defense against the best fighter in the game, arguably. Like, nah, bro. Like, we not quitting. You know what I'm saying? And I respect Ugas for that. Because he gave it his best. You know what I'm saying? But Spence definitely returned the favor to Ugas that he gave to Pacquiao because he
yeah,
broke down Pacquiao the same way.
yep.
Even though Pacquiao was not the Pacquiao that won the title the last time, he still gave him the business. Did you guys see the fight last weekend though?
We were just about to get in. Are you?
Well, wait. Which
are you-
one? Which one you talking
Yeah,
about?
if you're talking about
Teofimo?
Yeah, T.O.
Yeah,
T.O.
yes.
versus Taylor.
yeah,
Woo!
yeah, we saw that fight.
Yeah,
Man, we were actually on the phone together watching the fight, commentating it
Man.
ourselves, and I was like, man, if Teofimo stays that focused all the time, I mean,
It was a better Teofimo than the past 3 fights
Yes.
that Lopez has fought. Because like I before he lost the belt, yeah, he wasn't.
I think what ended up happening when he beat Lomachenko, he got too cocky.
too comfortable.
He got too cocky, too comfortable. Because he's like, I beat the man nobody wanted to fight. And I go back and say Lomachenko didn't want to fight Haney the first time, which I wish he would have fought him because he would have shut him up then. That's just my opinion.
Mhm.
But when you look at it at that, then after that he lost. Then he lost to Kambosos. Kambosos got in his head, and then also with all the stuff he was going through with his wife and all that stuff, he had mental. He wasn't into the fight. Then next thing he moves to 140. He barely won his 2 140 fights. Then to come into this fight, I'm like, I don't know, man. I kept saying, I don't know, unless we see the old Teofimo. And then when his dad said El Gordo is back, and I'm going to shut up and let him do his thing. Because what I found, remember I kept saying his dad needs to give it up. Mm-hmm. What I respect his dad for, he said, I realized I was changing the way he fights. That's not him. He's not a come forward fighter. He's a counterpuncher. I got to let him do what he does. Right. And when I heard him dad say that, I was like, okay, now I know what's up. He told Bill Haney that. He's like, hey, I've been doing the wrong thing. I've been trying to change the way my son is. I got to let him do what he did. And guess what?
For sure.
He did what he did.
He did. He definitely did. So
although the judges tried to rob him, they did try to rob him.
I just want to, I want boxing to continue, you know what I'm saying, to put the best fighters in the ring together, right? And let these boys prove themselves. You know what I'm saying? Like we need to see Shakur Stevens and Devin Haney sooner than later.
Yes.
Well, actually, I want to see. Actually, you know what I want to see? I want to see the triangle. I want to see Haney. I want to say Lomachenko. Well, actually, no. I want to see him again. Actually, 4 people. The four lightweights. The 4 lightweight kings. Haney, Lomachenko, Tank, and Shakur. They all need to get it together. Just have a round robin tournament to find out who's the best in the lightweight division.
Right. Yeah. Tank. I think it's time for Tank to move up. I think it's time.
Actually, I want him to get the undisputed title at lightweight and then defend it once or twice. Put people in their place because I think what it is. People say he's afraid of people. They're afraid of him.
Yeah.
Because if you look at it like with the Ryan Garcia fight, that was the only time I was like him fighting Ryan Garcia. That check hook, he eliminated that. He eliminated it. He eliminated his jab. I was like, this is his IQ right here. We're seeing him box.
Exactly.
And he's got one punch.
He did it really, really well.
Well, folks, what an episode it's been this week. Thank you, DJ CJ Smooth, for being our guest on this week.
Thank you guys for having me.
Any last moment thoughts or messages you want to get out to your people, your fans? Let them know where they can find you one more time.
Yeah, man. Hey, the Icon Radio show midweek mix goes down every Wednesday, 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 Eastern, 6 Central, 4 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. Make sure you guys tune in to that, man. Catch me on Instagram at DJ CJ Smooth _ATL, on TikTok at DJ CJ Smooth. Be on the lookout for the ATL in Phoenix Trap versus Crunk. It's coming to you soon, end of the month. Everybody have a happy Father's Day. Have a happy Juneteenth, right? Make sure we celebrate our heritage and celebrate the culture this weekend, but let's do it in a fashion of love, unity, and serenity.
Positivity.
Okay? Like, let's bring these positive vibes to any city that you're in, right? Every hood, anywhere, is a hood everywhere. So let's make sure, man, that we bring the hood together this weekend, okay, for the fathers. Bring the hood together for Juneteenth. Special happy birthday to my brother. He's turning 25 again on the 19th, right? On Juneteenth. So special shout out to him, man. I love you, big dog. And other than that, man, just be on the lookout. The journey has only begun. The best is yet
And
to come.
I'm gonna do one more thing before staying on Juneteenth.
Okay.
Folks, black folks, all together. Can we just not have violence for one day?
That's it.
One day. That's
That's
all
it.
I'm saying.
One
Let's celebrate
day.
no violence.
Yes.
Hold it.
For real.
One day.
Let's hug each other, man. Let's love each other.
Let's show the world that we can unite.
Let's speak positivity into each other. You know, like, for real. You know what I'm saying? Because we have that in us. Like, that was our culture. You know what I'm saying? And it still remains true to this day, man. But we gotta live in it. You know. So, hey, thank you guys, man. I'm grateful. I'm truly grateful for the opportunity to come back in here with you guys. It's been a long time coming.
Anytime, man. Anytime.
Hey, thank you guys. I'm grateful, man.
Well, until next week, folks, tune in every Wednesday, 5 p.m. We on Facebook Live. We on YouTube Live.
What the heck out of the camera, man? What the hell?
PD&J was good today.